Once again, newest citizens of the United States, congratulations. We are honored to have Dr. Cheryl White as our guest speaker today. When I was looking at her accomplishments, I struggled on how to introduce her. I asked myself, how do I start? And once started, how do I start? She is that accomplished. She holds a doctorate degree. She's the CEO of Family in Distress. She's an expert in cultural diversity, conflict resolution, leadership development, crisis management, human capital issues, and I can go on and on. She's also a published author. She wrote a book called There Will Always Be Another Day. So much wisdom in that title alone. I can't imagine what the contents of the book is like. But I know you don't want to hear from me. So please join me in welcoming our guest speaker today, Dr. Cheryl White.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. That sounds so weak. Let's try it again. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Aren't you excited? Today is one of those days that you should be jumping for joy. In 1983, I came from Jamaica. Just like you, a resident of these United States. And it would take me many years to become a citizen, simply because I was trying to learn the culture and learn everything I could about becoming an American. You see, so many born Americans do not understand what we foreigners understand, that this is the greatest country there is, and that we love. It is a miscalculation to think that every person who comes here comes simply because they need a better job. I had a good job, so I didn't come for that. But as a child, I would see people coming from America, and I wanted to go there, because what we were told about America was that the streets were lined with gold, and that people had an opportunity to be all that they could be. And so when I came here, I landed in New York City. And so when I saw the bombing of New York City, I cried, because that's where I first came to America and where I got my lessons on what America was. So in 1999, when I first became a citizen, and I want to show you how dedicated I am to America. This is my flag from 1999. Wow. Keep it. You can see there's no crust on it. It's just a little brown because it's so old, like me. But nevertheless, I really love this country with all my heart. My children are now citizens, and sometimes they try to think they're Jamaican Americans, but they're really Americans, and they have two cultures. And I want all of you to understand just how important it is, this walk that you have just taken, this journey. It's not just about getting a piece of paper. It's about showing Americans who are born here why we come. We come to be productive. Would you give me an amen? Amen. We come to use our skills and our talents to be all that we can be. Do I get another amen? Amen. And so, as new citizens, I am so excited for you, because there is nothing greater than today for your life and the beginning of the rest of your life.
Amen.
We're here also to celebrate. Thank you. I saw a little clap. Thank you very much. So as citizens, we're here today to also celebrate the life and legacy of one of the greatest Americans, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But I would be error if I did not thank the USCIS for giving me this privilege, for being able to be the keynote speaker. Thank all of you very much, because you did not have to do this. And to my wonderful husband, Pastor Alan Holt, who is here, and Dr. Cheryl, and my techniques who are here as well, Miss Lucy Tucker, and my peer, who is a doctoral candidate, Miss Maxine Roll. I thank you. As we look at the life of Martin Luther King, I'm not going to bore you with a lot of story, because most of us already know his story. He was born on January 15, 1929, to a long line of Baptist ministers. How many Baptists do we have in this room? Do we have any Baptists? If you are a Baptist, so you understand that a Baptist can go on and on. Lucky for you, I'm not a Baptist right now. So he was born to a long line of Baptist ministers. His father, the Reverend Martin Luther King Sr., was originally born Michael King. And during a trip in 1934 to Germany, they attended a service of the World Alliance Congress in Berlin, and he changed his name and Martin Luther King's name to be called Martin Luther King. And he chose this name in honor of the German reformer, Mr. Martin Luther King. So Dr. King Jr. would then later on in his life attend Morehouse College in Atlanta, and further to get his academia on the way, he also went and got him a PhD. Now, PhD is the highest level of education one can have, and it's 1% that usually gets it. So he was among the elite of elites. And if you think about his journey, he was doing things that no one else could possibly do unless they were anointed and appointed for such a time as when he was born. Because he was in a time when we did not have the freedom to be diversified like we are today. He was not living in a time when he had the opportunity to make every single choice that he made. But the thing about Dr. King was that he believed that no one can empower you like you can empower you. And so as you become citizens today, let no one tell you what you can and cannot do. It's a lie. You can do all things if you have the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. You can do all things. You can do all things if you believe in yourself, if you are committed and consistent, if you are focused on where you want to go, and if you will understand that the word fear, F-E-A-R, simply means what? False evidence appearing to be real. So when you have fear, remember, it's really false evidence. It's telling me that I cannot do what I can do. And as an American, I am not going to waste the privileges that I'm given by this great country. I'm going to step out. I am going to be counted for, and I'm going to be among the greats. We want to salute Dr. King's memory, because so many of us do not realize that he did not just stop at, I have a dream. He had more than a dream. He had vision. He had desire. He was focused. And so Dr. Martin Luther King, while he spoke about his dream, must be remembered for the things that he accomplished. He is the person that accomplished the African Civil Rights Movement. He is the person who accomplished the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Immigration and Nationalization Services Act of 65, and the Fair Housing Act of 1968. In fact, he was on his way to making more charter about the homeless when he was assassinated. The most important and crucial period of your lives today, for what you do now and what you desire to do at this stage, will be determined on the way in which you're going to let your life go. The question is whether you have a proper, solid, and a sound blueprint for your life. So let me leave you with what Dr. King called the blueprint. Is that all right with you? So Dr. King postulated that these things must be in your life's blueprint if you are to be successful like the greats. And if you want to be successful like the greats, it's imperative you learn what the greats do. Do not deviate from the path of what they do, but if they say go to the left, we go where? To the left. And if they say go to the right, we go where? So this is what he says you are to do. First, you must have a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodiness. Can you say with me, I am? I am. Okay, now that's very weak. You got to say it like you believe it. I am. Somebody. I am. Somebody. To believe in your own somebodiness. There you go. He said, don't allow anyone to make you feel that you are nobody. Always remember that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. See, we're all born with purpose. We're all born to be able to do something great. We just have forgotten it as we got older. Dr. King said, number 2, you must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. So whatever it is, if you are cleaning the floor, clean it till it's so shine that people have to say, did you know Dr. White cleaned this floor? Whatever you're doing, he says, do it to excellence. You, and only you today as a citizen, is going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do with your life, what your life's work will be. So many people go on beyond this world and they never leave a footprint. So you have to decide on the footprint you want to leave. Once you discover what it will be, set out to do it and do it well. This is why I have so many accolades. I go to the DCF refugee meetings. I'm part of that. I do everything I can in this world to make a difference so that when I leave this world, I would have left a footprint. I am following what Dr. Martin Luther King told me to do. So once you discover that, be a bush if you can't be a tree. See, everybody wants to be a tree. But he said, be a bush if you can't be a tree. And if you can't be the tree, he says, then be a highway. And if you can't be a highway, just be a trail, a path for someone. And if you can't be that, then be the sun or a star. For it isn't the size by which you win or you fail, but the best of whatever you are. In your life's blueprint, you must be committed to the eternal principle of beauty, love, and justice. Therefore, he says in closing, remember, freedom isn't always free. We must keep moving, people. We must keep going. And if you can't fly, run. And if you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. But folks, you new citizens of this great country, whatever you do, My advice to you, as Dr. King's advice was, is keep on moving. Thank you so much.